So this year we return to the 4th of July Homer Freedom Music Festival. Let's talk about it. So picture here you guys can see, this is the setup. Continue in the summertime to make sure we have space in the corner for us to hang out, kind of sit on the ground if we need to and just stretch out. So I always recommend that. The event itself is pretty awesome. This is a little bit later in the day. People are starting to show up for fireworks. I think the heat really deterred a lot of people from coming out early like they did last year. This year we were actually directly behind the tent that had the two stages, so that was really cool. The music was great, all day, just great. Here's a video showing you guys kind of the setup of what we were dealing with. Really cool. This food truck was amazing. Let me show you what I had. Boom. We got Fritos with pulled pork, barbecue sauce, mac and cheese, shredded cheddar, and a little bit of nacho cheese. It was phenomenal. Highly recommend that food. This is the newest painting that I took. Phineas and Ferb inspired. Love that cartoon. And look, overall, it was really hot. Wasn't the biggest day in sales. And we stayed open later because people were showing up for the fireworks. So we were actually open from 11 a.m. until about 8:30. We were there from about 8:30 to 8:30. But it was still a fun event, and we really enjoy the people who put on this event. We've done a few things out in Homer, and they always do a really good job. Very well organized, things that as a vendor you really appreciate. It was definitely one of those events that it kind of reminds me, like doing markets in the summer, especially July and August. It is a very tough endeavor, and something I don't think a lot of vendors realize when they first start. Those first couple years, you learn a lot about yourself because you have to sign up for these things a few months in advance. You don't necessarily know what the weather's going to be. You have a good idea of what it could be, but showing up, like last year we did this and it poured the night before, and it made it really thick and muddy out, and then it was just super hot and dry the next day. This year it was just super hot, which is why I always suggest take more water than you need, take more supplies for yourself, not just your inventory but for yourself, than what you think you might need. Easier said than done, but I think you guys get what I'm aiming for there. Now overall, I'll admit this was not the most profitable event for us. The sales weren't as great as last year. I think that there's a lot of contributing factors to that because the event itself wasn't as big in terms of foot traffic from what we heard from other vendors. They didn't do as well either. But like I've said before, you want to find other things besides just sales to help you find the wins in this business. As always, if you got any questions, let me know. But that's our Homer 4th of July wrap up. See you next time.